Our favourite time of the week to talk to our favourite person in the world, the one, the only, Megyn Kelly. She's the best. She's also got now her own full 24-hour satellite radio channel on top of the YouTube, on top of everything else. She even has a show after her show talking about her show. That's how damn good she is. Megyn, lovely to see you.
That'll be a fun one. People can call in and say all the things they didn't like about it, but they say it to somebody other than me. So it's great.
Yeah, no, I love it. More Megyn Kelly in my life. Please, 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 please. All right. Now, today's election day in the United States. Expectations are things are going to be pretty good for the Democrats. Why? Because, well, a socialist in New York and kind of blue states doing what blue states do. But I wanted to reflect on something, just to put a smile on your face and mine and many people watching. Can you believe it's a year since that incredible night? A year since the doubts, the maybes, the concern about the fork in the road that America took, and the giant exhale of breath that I still feel we are involved in 12 months after that moment. The country has changed demonstrably and for the better as a result of what it did 12 months ago, right?
Totally. I don't know why my mind went here, Paul, not to bring the room down, but I just thought of Charlie Kirk as soon as you said it, because he was so happy on that election night and his reaction was so genuine that it went totally viral, just tears in his eyes, glory be to God, put on the 47 hat. And, if only he had known, that before we got to the 12-month mark, some lunatic would take his life. It's awful. But so much has happened in the past 12 months. I do feel like our country was saved. That's how it feels, that it was saved. We're back on our way to wellness, but we're not well yet. We're not there. But Trump has done his level best. I mean, he's done more than any president ever could in it's been 10 months, I guess, period, to restore sanity in this country. And, what's scary is he's had to do it all via executive order. He's only really passed one big law and one big budget, one on immigration and one, funding the government and his pet projects and his agenda, which was important. But I'm just saying everything he's doing can be undone with a pen just as easily as it was done with a pen, which is somewhat scary. It's not Trump's fault in today's day and age. If you don't have 60 senators in the U.S. Senate on your team, you're just not going to get legislation through, because while we only need a majority to pass laws, you need 60 to get a vote on the laws. There has to be a vote to have a vote before you can have the vote. And they stopped that because we never have 60 on one team. Even when Obama won back in 2008, it was like this huge wave, the blue wave, hope and change, blah, blah, blah. I think it was 58 that they got, but they did not get 60 on Team Blue. And now Trump's talking about possibly getting rid of the filibuster, at least when it comes to these government spending measures. I don't think we should do that. We cannot get rid of the filibuster. It protects minority rights. And when you are in the minority, you desperately wish they were protected. And we'll be there soon. Team Sanity does not always stay in the majority. In any event, we're making progress.
Let's also talk here too about the people who can't let last year go. Can you believe George Clooney is still talking about writing the op-ed about Harris versus Biden? Who cares? Let it go. He overplayed his hand. He thinks he is more important than he is. And we know he's, pumping up some garbage movie to maybe make his way to the Oscars. But no one cares.
We had a chance. I wanted there to be, as I wrote in the op-ed, a primary. Let's battle test this quickly and get it up and going. I think the mistake with it being Kamala is that she had to run against her own record. And it's very hard to do if the point of running is to say, I'm not that person. It's hard to do. And so she was given a very tough task. I think it was a mistake, quite honestly. But we are where we are.
He's obsessed with his moment of glory. He sees himself as so brave, which is so amazing. You and I both know actually brave people. Guys who fought in these wars, heroes who come back having taken multiple bullets and saved lives. I know several Medal of Honor recipients. They don't talk about their courage or their big moments. They'll do it maybe on a special occasion, like to honor the military or get people interested in the military, but never to honor themselves. Never. Only George Clooney keeps doing this. over his letter to the editor.
Yeah.
I mean, he truly thinks he's a Navy SEAL. He's acting like he stormed the beach at Normandy. It's like you did nothing, only when forced to admit that you had seen what we all saw at that debate, but you had seen it a month earlier. Did you write that piece? You knew. You kept it a secret. You were part of the cover-up. And then you wrote the op-ed when you realized we all knew, and also, more importantly, that you were going to lose the presidency. Your
Correct.
team. There was zero chance he could do it, which you knew, so you had to stick the knife in him. Okay? Like, I get it, but it doesn't make you a hero. And the media, so in love with celebrities. Oh, my God. They play along. You know, Jake Tapper went and interviewed Clooney not long after the whole thing happened and let him wax poetic about himself, like, well, my party wasn't doing a very good job of telling the truth. They weren't doing a very good job of telling the truth. Somebody needed to speak truth to power. Oh, who was that, George? Me. That's what his answer was. And he's still dining out on this nonsense a year later. He should take a lesson from Jennifer Lawrence, who's a much more relevant star right now than George Clooney is, who just gave an interview to the New York Times and said, you know what? She's an obvious leftist, but she said, I'm done getting political. And Lula Garcia Navarro said, oh, why? Why? And she said, because no one's listening to celebrities anymore. It's clear we're not making a difference. And what I don't want is to so alienate one half of my audience that they no longer go see my movies because I also speak to them politically through my art. So I am going to be messaging them politically, but I'm going to try to be more clever about it and do it through my art, which honestly, that's fine. I don't care. Celebrities have been doing that since the dawn of time. We don't want to be lectured by them when they're in their spare, the free time. So she's finally gotten the message that it's not worth it, and it does more harm than good. George Clooney could take a lesson. Rob Reiner, De Niro, all of them who are still out there, Streisand, Bette Midler, they've gone crazy, and you can no longer hear their songs or watch their movies without thinking in the back of your head, they hate me. And you know what? I'm starting to hate them a little bit too. That's what that does.
Yeah, 100%. Writing a letter to the editor. Worst story at band camp about band camp goes to George Clooney forever on that one. All right, last one here. Now, obviously, we all know how the world works, where there's what we do in front of a camera for work, and then there's sometimes that stuff that, for social media you'll do in front of a camera because it's about your life, behind the scenes stuff, right? Did you see the Meghan Markle thing where she filmed herself in black and white in her own theatre watching the LA Dodgers? My favourite part of this is that the husband is so bored. He is so and when your team wins at the end of a that would be a moment to go, hey. Instead, he's so bored because he knows they're not watching it to watch the game. They're watching it so people can watch them watching the game.
And he's like, oh my God, what did I marry? There's no way Kate is doing this to William. Not a chance. She's probably like, that's so great, they won, and then they move on. Yeah. And Meghan Markle has no affinity for the LA Dodgers, and everybody knows this. It's not like, there are some women who are super into sports. You know how we know? Because they constantly post pictures of themselves wearing the team gear. They are updating us on the scores every weekend. I know these women, right? I can't relate to them at all because I'm not into sports, but I find them fun and amusing, and I follow. She's not one of them. She's not one of them at all. She never mentions them, ever. She doesn't give two shits about the Dodgers. She just wants you to think she does because they're relevant, and unlike her, they're winners. So what she does is it's so at first I thought she put her iPhone up there and filmed herself reacting, but it's worse than that. It's worse than that because clearly they have some sort of a video in their movie room, in their enormous theater room, so relatable. And they got all that money because they decided to stick a knife in the royal family that gave Harry money to begin with and made them relevant. So they decided to basically extort them and get money by making fun of them and calling them racists, and Netflix paid them money for that. In any event, they took that money, built themselves a big mansion, and built themselves some huge theater, and they sat in that theater and like two hyenas, this one and her friend. I don't know who the friend was, but she was as annoying as Meghan Markle. Who laughs who celebrates with like a high-pitched, it sounded like it was like half animal, half orgasm. I don't know what I heard in that room, but it was very wrong. Clearly, Prince Harry didn't like it and had heard it too often, and start acting like 12-year-olds. I mean, even younger, maybe 4. And so what she had done was then she said, let's go back. I bet you our reaction is on video. I bet you. Okay, right. We might have just been caught. This is the best case scenario for her. Best. Worst is that she set it up and she filmed herself and then put it out there. But best is that she happened to have been caught overacting in the moment and then said, find me the tape on the security video, which then some minion likely had to do. And she rolled it back and she cut it and she posted and acted like it was organic because she's desperate for our attention. She is a disaster tourist. She went to Uvalde where children had been shot dead and made sure she got caught on camera. She put her naked feet up, celebrating to music as she went by the spot where Princess Diana, her children's grandmother, was killed brutally. And now she does this where she wants to insert herself. That's what it is. She inserts herself into these big events, trying to make them about her. And one more point. I actually was also up watching the Dodgers, and I don't care about baseball. It's just an amazing World Series. And I also was there at the Super Bowl when my team wasn't there, but my husband's, the Eagles, won the Super Bowl. And never once at either of these events, when I genuinely did cheer for the winning team, did I think, you know what people want to see? Me and my reaction to the win. What really we should do is turn the camera on ourselves to show what we're thinking, to make the reaction about ourselves. That's really what people at home want. Only a narcissist would do that. And that's exactly what she is. She proved it yet again.
By the way, anyone who is quote unquote camera ready in their own home, on the couch on a weekend, is a little crazy, right? Because normal people, that's the time when, let's be honest, sometimes the husband might just be sitting there in his undies. Sometimes you might be there with the hair up and the no makeup, because guess what? You're living your life.
100%. You're not behaving like that. I'm going to show you something, Paul. All right. This is
I love this.
I have my little headphones on. Stand by. All right. I'm going to give you a little show and tell. I'm going to take my heads up. This is how I look on the weekends. There it is. Right here. Okay. My headphone back in my ear. This is my weekend look. And if you see a picture of me on the no makeup, but if you see a picture of me on the weekend with anything other than this hair, it's a lie. It's not really how I spend my weekend. And I'm at the point where I don't give a what you think, because it's so easy and it's out of my face. And that's because I'm an honest person and she's not. This is what an actual Meghan looks like at rest.
Well, I too would like to act out how I look like on the weekend, but I'm the guy who sits there in his undies. So I will save everyone. I will save everyone that image. We love you, Megyn Kelly. We'll see you next week.
Okay, see you, Paul.